Good morning, Shaun. How are you feeling?
Morning, yeah, all good. It's a good day down here at Trinkton, so it's a bit of a surprise for this time of the year.
Yeah, pretty exciting book of rides. Starting in race number 1, a horse that you've had a good association with, Z Ace. This is the market for the first race on the program. It's the Norm Bevan Memorial Maiden Steeplechase, and Z Ace is $2.50, $2.90 Z Man Infoxicated, I should say, $5. Kangaroo is at $8. What's the key for Z Ace, and what do you hope to happen for you to get that win out of him over the steeplechase fences today, Shaun?
Yeah, well, he's a very consistent horse. He's always, in the money or not far away. Obviously, he ran second in our Pony steeplechase last time I rode him. That was a huge effort for a maidener. He just come up against a pretty good horse, and then he's gone to Hawke's Bay last week and run on a good track and run another good race. I think today it'd just be great to get a win out of him and get a bit of confidence going forward to some bigger assignments.
Where do you think he could get to, ability-wise?
Well, he'll relish in the wet track today. That's his biggest asset, that he can cop the wet ground. So that's probably what put him back a peg or two last time at Hawke's Bay. On the wet track, he's a pretty tough horse, and I'd like to think he's pretty close at winning today.
Race number 2 is the Superfence Maiden Hurdle, and a horse that's finished second over the hurdle fences his last couple of starts as a son of Guillotine in Summer Warrior. Gobstopper, obviously a very exciting horse, beat him a couple of starts ago, and then Sanasi last time. How's this horse in preparation for today?
Yeah, he's run some good races. He's still learning about the game. He's probably come up against a couple of nice horses in the North Island as well. So if he runs as consistent as what he has been, I'd say he'd be close to winning today.
Other runners in the race include Zartan, Abagus, Alfie D is at $7.50. It's a maiden hurdle with a bit of depth. Sort of how do you see the opposition?
Yeah, I think there's a few nice horses sort of kicking off in that maiden hurdle today. It's quite a big maiden hurdle field, and sort of there's a few that like having their first go that look like they could be quite promising as well. Some horses coming from the flat to having their first start, so it's probably quite a strong maiden field.
Race number 3 is the feature hurdle on the program, the Arnica Smoker Wellington Hurdle, and Galante's $3.50, Bad Boy Brown's $3.60, Laykeeper with Emily Farr to rides at $4.60, and Shaun, you're on Tamira, who's at $9.50. What are your expectations from him today, and what did you make of his last start at Hastings?
Yeah, well, obviously the start before he won the Kenny Brown Hurdle on a wet track, I think just going to Hawke's Bay on the good track, I think he's probably just not that quick on that better ground. I think trying him today on the wet track could bring them back a peg or two to him, and he is a good horse, so they just thought have a go at the race today. There's not a real big field, so but yeah, obviously there's a couple of real good ones coming through, but I think he wouldn't be too far away.
Yeah, Galante obviously has been very impressive. Emily Farr rides Laykeeper. Any insight as to how well that horse is?
I think Laykeeper's definitely the best horse in the race. He's probably been a run short last time. He hasn't had that many runs over hurdles and that, and he's probably looking to peak today. I would have thought, I think Galante is definitely beatable. I don't think he's the best horse in the race. I think probably a horse like Bad Boy Brown looks pretty well conditioned for the race. He's one hit last start, and Harvey Wilson's probably got him ready to go for this. And I'd say them is the two hardest to beat.
It sounds like you've got a bit of confidence in Tamira as well.
Yeah, exactly. He's a good horse on his day. I think this last time the track was too good, and he probably needed the run too. And if you look at it, the rest of his form, he's always thereabouts in all these good races.
Race number 5 is the Grant Plumbing Wellington Steeplechase, and you're back aboard Chocolate Fish. What have you made of his preparation in the lead up to sort of the Wellington Steeplechase today? How is he? What feel has he given you, and do you feel that he's going the right way and improving for this?
Yeah, his preparation this year's been great. You know, it's pretty much the same as last year. His run at Hawke's Bay was huge, really. I think there was a lot of improvement in him going out of that. And the thing with him is he's just a really slow horse. No disrespect to the horse, but he just wants 5,000 metres plus, and there's not many races around in New Zealand that have them. And lucky enough, he's in one today. You know, we got beat by Wellington Steeplechase just last year, so hopefully he's a little bit better horse than that last year, and he shouldn't be far away.
Yeah, sounds like he just will stay all day for you.
Yeah, exactly. Like he only finds form when there's his form's great, really. At every big race in New Zealand, he's running seconds or thirds or fourths, you know. And then when you get him up to 5,000 metres plus, he's right in the finish. Like obviously the Great Northern and the Grand National. So yeah, I think it's a good race from today. If the only danger I thought is obviously Perry Mason's won it doing well, that he might not be able to get the trip, and you'd think maybe a horse like Wise Men Say could find form. He's probably the one to beat.
Okay, here are Shaun Phelan's book of rides, and going through them in summary: ZA Summer Warrior, Tamira and Chocolate for Shaun. Which of those is the best winning chance from your perspective?
Probably ZA in the first, to be honest. There's not many. He's in the maiden chase today, wet track, bog Wellington. He's gone around the figure of 8 before. I'd say he's probably my best ride. I'm not going to do a Rob here and say it, but it's my gift. I'd like to think, I could kick the AFL today with him.
We do love a promo though, but we do appreciate your time. Shaun Phelan there giving us his thoughts on his 4 rides that he has at Trentham, and as we always say to our guests, particularly our riding guests, safe travels today on the track, a safe passage to you and your mounts. That was Shaun Phelan talking about a featured jumps day at Trentham.